And a good Saturday evening to everybody. It seems like this is our second home, but we are back at the Dog Pound, Defiance High School Gymnasium. Less than 24 hours later, they were playing here just last night, and the Bulldogs saw a 10-point fourth quarter lead evaporate en route to a 67-55 stunner, and that's a loss to Shawnee. Tonight they will try and right the ship. They will be going outside of conference play to take on a very physical and very athletic Fairview squad. Fairview coming into tonight at 6-7 overall. They dropped the tough one in the GMC last night, about 10 minutes from here at Tenora, 40-33. We'll break it down in just a couple of minutes, but the Bob Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is now on the air. DCTV Sports saying thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Balbinot alongside the coach, the big handsome here, Chris Dales. Coach, the beauty of basketball compared to other sports, and I know you're a longtime football coach, is when you lose, and especially when you're upset, say in the fall, you got to sit on it for a week.
You do.
You sometimes have to stew on it, and you got a chance to kind of build yourself back up. One of the beauties about basketball, and I talked with Bryn Lehman about it, less than 24 hours later, they have a chance to get that bad taste of last night's upset loss out of their mouth tonight with a win over Fairview.
Yeah, without a doubt, you're 100% correct. And what's neat is both teams are in that situation. Both had big-time league games last night. Both teams came up, short. Both teams played well last night. So they have some positives, but you know what? It's tough. You got to get them ready mentally to play this game tonight, and I'm sure both coaches will do that.
One of the things that both these teams hang their hats on, and we've talked about it for Defiance over the course of the first 2 months of the season, is defense. They have only allowed one team 60 or more points all season. Only two teams 50 points or better, but last night being 60-plus. On the flip side, Fairview does the same thing. The problem is they're a bit more offensively challenged. They have only scored 50 points twice so far this season. And I asked Coach Panico, I said, what is it? And he goes, it starts to get into your head. He didn't use the term quicksand, but I know you've heard that phrase before. When you miss a shot or you miss 2 or 3 in a row that you normally make in practice, sometimes it's easy for a youngster to get gun shy. Maybe to start thinking maybe this isn't my shot and look for it, and then all of a sudden you're playing out of system. That's not what it's what he's trying to fight right now. He's telling his guys, you know what a good shot for you is. You know how to run this offense. He goes, when you're open, you have to shoot.
Got to shoot, definitely. And I think I've already touched upon it. You know, it's the mental aspect of the game. You're dealing with high school players here, and sometimes that's the hardest thing. It's not teaching them, the fundamentals. It's teaching them the mental part of the game. If they can get through that, they'll be fine. But here's the good thing is, they both play great defense. They got to take that defense and try to create some offensive, easy layups, something along those lines to help them to get that confidence. But you know what? The old adage is if you know you're not shooting well, what do? You just keep on shooting. That's what they got to do, and they'll be fine.
Well, and the old phrase, too, is defense always travels.
Always.
Whether or not it's going in the bucket or not, you can always play strong defense. I'm already going to go – I don't normally do this, but having seen both these teams so far this year, I'm going to go out on, I think, a fairly sturdy limb and say 40 points wins tonight's ballgame. Yeah,
definitely. I think you're 100% correct. And, both teams are coached so well defensively. And here's the thing. You got that quick turnaround. You prepare all week for your league game. Defiance, prepared for Shawnee. They got all their stuff in. And then, boom, you got your walkthrough this morning. Which team is going to come out again, mentally strong? Who can get that 10-minute scouting report and then apply it? It's not like all week long. So you're exactly right. And the team that goes out and executes well and is mentally strong is going to win this.
You take a look at being out of conference, and this is something that we're going to hear from head coach Bryn Lehman coming up in just a couple of minutes here. But there's so much talent. Even at some of the smaller schools, he goes, we can only play so many in-conference opponents, and the schedule won't allow for home and away. But you've got the likes of a Fairview, a Wayne Trace, a Liberty Center, an Archbold. And he goes, we may be playing out of conference, but he goes, we're playing teams that could easily compete in this conference. Fairview is one of them.
My take on this is that Fairview has the advantage. It's all on Defiance. Defiance is the big school in the area. Defiance has got the state title, in basketball. So all the pressure's on them. Little old Fairview's coming here, right? There's no pressure on them. So in all reality, I think Defiance has a little bit more pressure on them. them, but you're 100%. And the Fairview kids and the Fairview parents, they love this atmosphere. Hey, we get to go Defiance, play against a big-time school. And you know what? Even if you lose, if you play well, oh, man, they're a bigger division. We played well. Give them some confidence in the long run here.
We're going to break down the starting lineups and some of the huge matchups, who draws who defensively, because it's going to be important tonight. Earlier this week, I had a chance to stop out and talk with Defiance head coach Bryn Lehman. Again, this was pre-Shawnee last night, but we spoke in general terms, again, where this club is at now compared to where he thought it would be, where he wants it to be, and last night, not counting on course. But we'll let the coach tell you his thoughts in his own words. We're going to take a quick timeout. You are watching the Bob Estel Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Stop on out. See their great selection of both new and used vehicles. If you can't do so in person, check them out online at drivebobestel.com. We're back with Coach Lehman right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estel Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestel.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Welcome back. The Estel Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. DCTV Sports back at the Dog Pound tonight. It is a Saturday night affair as the Bulldogs getting set to take on Fairview. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. And before we go to Coach Lehman, we need to thank our pregame sponsor. Again, Estel Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Check out their great selection of both new and used vehicles. We want to stress that everybody's on a budget right now. You can get what they call a cream puff, not broken down, broken in, just like the man standing to my left right now. He is in prime condition. But again, if you can't get out there in person, check out their selection online at drivebobestel.com. Coach Lehman joining us right now on the heels of back-to-back nights. I guess let me ask you this, because you get situations like this, and it's not like they sneak up on you, but all of a sudden you have a Tuesday game, a Friday game, then sometimes Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And then like this week, nothing since last Saturday, and then back-to-back games Friday, Saturday. I know the guys are young, they have oil in their joints, but from a preparation standpoint, what's that do to you to have to compact your schedule, for lack of a better term?
It's nice at times, and then you'd like to have a little bit more space at times. When we've got things to work on, which I think leading into a game like Lima Shawnee, that's something you want a little bit of space. You want a little bit of time to talk and think through what you want to do. So it was nice to have that this week. But the back-to-back and then Tuesday with Archibald, that's a grind in just a few days.
Grind, not just in the WBL. You're getting strong out of conference games. What's that do for preparation, or maybe not even preparation, just staying sharp?
It's big for the tournament. We're thinking computer points, and we're thinking going against teams that are having a lot of success against a lot of different teams. There's area bragging rights involved. So playing a team like Archibald, playing a team like Fairview tonight, they're teams that you want on the schedule this time of year because you can kind of gauge where you're at.
Let's go ahead and talk a little about last week. Again, back-to-back games, defensive win against Wauseon. We've talked about this team, I don't want to say hanging its hat on defense, because you have to put the ball through the hoop. But what have you been working on from last Saturday through this week, obviously with a game Friday, and then, of course, obviously tonight's contest against Fairview?
You got to continue to score through physicality, and I think that's something last weekend both Van Wert and Wauseon were very, very physical in the game. There weren't many fouls called. We didn't shoot many free throws. So Fairview's going to be the same way. They're going to be very, very physical. It's going to be a team that goes right at us, and we're going to have to finish through contact. So being more efficient on the offensive end has been a major focus.
I've done some research right here on this notepad, everything but winning lottery numbers. But let's go ahead and talk about some of your stats. I'm looking here at defense. The opposition shooting just 36% from two, just 25% from beyond the arc. It goes beyond help side rotations. I know at least early in the season you were working on that, but I think Van Wert was a great example of what you can do when you deny, whether it be the pass or the drive, on the ball. how is your on-ball defense right now?
Our on-ball defense has been tremendous, and I think that starts with Logan Hutchison, our point guard. He really sets the tone, and he makes sure, what we want to accomplish defensively, we're able to. And I thought last weekend we did a much better job of using our athleticism and our length. We had a really good defensive weekend. I don't think it was great by any means offensively, but I thought we did just enough. But when you can limit teams under 40 points, you're always going to have a chance to win.
Look, and that's what you've been doing for the bulk of the season. Only one team has scored more than 50, and that happened to be over 60. But to say defense always travels, I think, is the term. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make the highlight reels. At 6 and 10, you've got to develop a mindset, get guys that want to wrap both arms around playing defense. How have you been able to do that with this year's team?
I think they take pride in it, and I think when you can impose your will and really dictate how a game, is played, and I think we would have preferred to play quicker offensively last weekend. Both Van Wert and Wassian were more comfortable slowing things down with our length and athleticism. So, I'm proud of our guys for sort of adjusting and I think always setting the tone defensively so we can really, turn that into some offense, but then also, squelch any hope that the opposing team has.
So let me ask you to piggyback on that, because you're also forcing just over 13 turnovers per ball game. Now that's an opportunity to score taken away from the opposition, but you also want to capitalize on those. I didn't see it in the stats, and trust me, this guy sends out a very detailed stat sheet every single postgame. You want a certain percentage of turnovers into points off of turnovers, I guess? You keep track of that?
We don't look at points off turnovers. We do look at turnovers. We want to cause at least 10, and I think, that's a minor number. We could probably shoot for a little bit more, which we've had success with this year. But I trust we've got enough ball handlers, and we've got enough guys that are hungry offensively that if we can create those turnovers, I think a guy like Dre Singleton is one that really he turns those turnovers into offense, and we do a great job of finding him. So as long as we can produce those turnovers, I think we can capitalize.
One thing you're also doing, taking care of the basketball. Under 10 turnovers per game at just above 9. What's led to that compared to last year especially?
I don't think we play slow by any means, but we're going to be efficient. We're not going to force the issue. We're not going to, make the silly pass, try to make the home run play. We're going to be as efficient as possible. And, we work the ball around a little bit more, and we're going to make sure we get shots off. If you're getting shots off, you've got a better opportunity to score. If you're turning it over, it sounds simpler than it is, but you're turning it over, you're not having an opportunity to score. So, we cherish the ball. Logan Hutchison, again, on the offensive side, he's not much of a shooter, but he's about 6-to-1, 7-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. So our point guard's doing great things with the ball, and that's what matters.
He segues me perfectly to my next question. I've got it down here. 3 players averaging double figures in Khalil, Cy, and obviously Dre off the bench. Jordan's close. He's about 8 to 9 per ball game. Is this a good example? You constantly hear about, okay, you got to have that high-volume shooter, or who's your alpha? Who do you go to? You can have multiple guys. Is this year's team, especially at the offensive end, a good example of there can be plenty of touches to go around for everybody?
Without a doubt. And I think we still have that alpha. I think Khalil is the guy that we're going to look to when we really need a bucket. In the tight games this year, he's been somebody that's come up clutch in that regard. But the balance is needed if we're going to make a run. And I think if the opposing team is able to zone in on one guy, and if you can key in on, Khalil, I think that, limits us. And when you have guys that can space the floor and attack off the dribble, that benefits you greatly, and we have that.
Has Cy been aggressive enough? I know it almost looks like he never forces a shot. They all seemingly come to him. Could he be more aggressive? Could he get more if he wanted it?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think him and Jordan Wright both could. I think they've got to find ways to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, whether it be off the catch and rip, off the shot. But I think they're doing a great job for being young guards. Cy getting his feet wet more so than Jordan. But, they're guys that have led us in scoring this year. They've had great games. It's just got to be night in, night out, that aggressiveness.
Let's go ahead and preview tonight's opponent, Fairview. They have not just one or the other. They've got both size and height. I know that we're doing this interview 24 hours before tip-off, but what can you at least give us as far as a generic breakdown or scout?
They're very physical, and that's no difference than any other year playing Fairview. They're going to get up and they're going to be as physical as possible and kind of try to muck things up. And I also think we offer a little bit more athleticism than what they have, so they're going to try to do things their way and give themselves the best chance for success. So we've got to be very strong with the ball, and we've got to be on balance, or it's going to be a long night.
All right. We appreciate it, Coach, as always. Pleasure to do the pregame with you. Good luck again this evening.
Thanks, guys.
Again, Coach Lehman joining us as part of our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're back with the starters and the keys to the game. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Back at the Dog Pound, the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues as we're about 6.5 minutes away from tip-off. Day number 2, or more like evening number 2, game number 2. And the Bulldogs of Defiance trying to get back on the winning track after last night's tough overtime loss. They're still 10-2 and 4-1 in the WBL as they welcome the Apaches of Fairview. A tough loss by 7 last night at Tenora as they are 6-7, 2-2 in the GMC. Time now for your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or give them a call at 419-267-1320 today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the hosts need to do to get back in the winning trail. Coach, go ahead.
Well, from what I've seen so far this year, I think that Defiance number 1 needs to be more balanced scoring, throughout their lineup. It seems like they really rely on one person to have that big night, of 15, 19, 20 points. So I would really like to be able to see them have more balanced scoring to maybe open up more things. And secondly, for the Bulldogs, I think that they got to come out and be mentally strong and not have a mental load because you're playing the small school Fairview, from across the county. They got to be mentally ready to go without a doubt. That's what I think Defiance needs to do tonight to get back on track. Not that they're off track,
no,
but just to get the mojo back going. Tough loss last night. Just come out, have a lot of energy, and be physical and do what they do.
On the flip side for the Apaches, again 6-7 overall, 2-2 in the GMC.
If I'm their coach, you've had about 20 hours to prepare. But the first thing is, don't back down from the big boys on the block. Guys, we're going into Defiance, big school. You're going to have a big crowd, great facility. Whatever you do, don't back down. Challenge your team. Challenge them to equal their physicality, equal their speed, equal everything they have. So I think that that's the first thing. The second thing is, try to wear him down a little bit. Try to wear him down physically. Try to pound the ball inside. Challenge all their shots on defense. Make everything that Defiance, everything they do, just challenge it. Be a competitor out there. Try to win every possession. Try to win every time that you're guarding somebody, rebounding, whatever it may be. But be physical, wear them down, and let's go out there and have some fun in a great environment.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Time now for our starting lineups, courtesy of Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Bulldog 5, and no surprises for head coach Bryn Lehman and company. At the point, again, he doesn't score a ton, but he does so much defensively, and he's the team's leader in assists. He is a gritty kid, standing in at just 5'8", but he's a senior Bulldog, Logan Hutchinson. at off guard. He's seen his offensive production dip just a bit. That's because he's getting the ball to the rest of his teammates. The 5'11 senior, Jordan Wright. He's averaging 8 points, but 4 assists per contest. At the swing, the super sophomore. He stands in at just 5'11", but he is playing bigger than that. Cy Schlatter. Schlatter, the team's second leading scorer at 13.3 points, but he does a little bit of everything. He's averaging nearly 4 boards and 2 assists per ball game. Then your front court. At the power forward, it will be the 6'4" senior Khalil Ligon. He's averaging 15.5 points and nearly 5 boards per contest. And in the middle, the 6'7" senior Garrison Schmitty. Doesn't score a ton at nearly 3 points per game, but he's averaging nearly 8 rebounds. And he also, I was looking down here and I lost it, but he has double-digit blocks on the season. So again, you challenge him down low, 6'7" will make you pay a price. On the flip side for the Apaches, again led by head coach Jake Panico, 6-7 overall, 2-2 in the GMC. He will send out the usual suspects at the point, it will be William Zedike, a 5'10 junior. Zedike, by coach's own admission, he'd like to get more involved in the offense. It doesn't mean he needs to score more, but he's only averaging 1.5 assists per game. And he said our offense just works so much better when he drives and dishes, or again keeps his head up and waits for the second or the third cutter in the offense. At the off guard, it will be Cale Salyers. Salyers, again, averaging 4 points per contest and 4 rebounds per contest. Then their go-to man. He is their swing, the 6'4 junior, Levi Panico. Panico averaging 13.5 points, 2.5 rebounds per contest. Your front court as follows. Noah Schillinger. Schillinger standing in at 6'2", and he's every bit of that. The junior, Schillinger, averaging 4 points and 3 boards per game. And then the undersized junkyard dog in the middle is Jackson Brady. Brady reminds me of myself when I played. He's got those rec specs that are wrapped around his head with the extra stretch band. He plays bigger than 6'2", and he will body you up. At 6'2", he will play with his back to the basket. It shows. The stats bear that out. 10 points and nearly 6 boards per contest. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. As the colors have been dropped, the Spirit squads for both teams taking their respective spots at the end, both ends, I should say, of the dog pound, as the final seconds of the warm-up ticking off the clock. And there you see, and I don't know if we can get a zoom in, the 3 officials at the far end of the gymnasium there, right in front of the scorer's table. And we've got a good group: Vince Walensky, Braden Souter, and Shane. There we go. We'll give the men in stripes their credit. Nicely done. And Shane Chamberlain. That is your veteran officiating crew here this evening. As they're about to be introduced by public address announcer Josh Bush. Also want to tip the cap to all winter sports athletes. In between the JV and the varsity contest tonight, the winter sports senior night was recognized. Seniors and their parents walking the court between the JV and varsity games. More than just basketball.
Yeah, it's not about the kids. The parents love that night.
Yep.
The parents get to love that, love walking that one more time their kid across, and so proud of everything that they've accomplished, and no matter what sport it is, just a proud moment.
Time now for our national anthem, brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. And the Star Spangled Banner, nicely done by the Defiance Pep Band, and are sponsored by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with the resources they might not be aware that are available to them. To learn more or request more information, log on to defiance-county.com/veterans-office or give them a call at 419-782-6861. Nothing left to do but tip this one off. And a rarity, and again, Coach, you and I were talking about it, Fairview comes in across the board, with the exception of Garrison Schmitty at 6'7", roughly matching up body for body as far as height is concerned. You've got multiple guys that are around 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", but they're also sizable. So often you see a kid, and he might be 6'4", or 6'5", but you can basically fit your entire palm of your fingers around his biceps. And you're like, okay, maybe in the weight room you'll fill out. Yeah. That's not the case with Fairview. They've got height, but they also have size.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm used to this. I've seen this for years. This is what the Fairview community is. You know, for years, the kids are 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and on the football field, you know, they're anywhere from $185 to 300 pounds. So this is what their community's built upon. It doesn't surprise me that they go 6 foot, 6'4", 6'2", 6'3". That's what they are. Let's see tonight if they're able to use that height and that stoutness against the Bulldogs.
Well, again, Coach Panico told me the key tonight, in addition to William Zedike getting everybody more involved, he said, we have not done a good job of taking care of the basketball. And on the flip side, Bren Lehman told me, we think we can turn them over. What's the best thing you can do? Easy defense into easy offense. Yep. Coach Panico and company, we took a page or a phrase out of the University of Toledo head men's basketball coach Todd Kowalczyk's vocabulary. You got to be boss with the ball tonight.
Yeah, you know, and he hit it on the head. He's got to get Zedike involved because he's the general. He was the general on the football field. You know, the quarterback, he's the one that ran the show. Hey, let him do it here. Let him use his skills. You know, he doesn't always have to score, but penetrate, dish, whatever it may be. I think he's 100% correct. You know, control the game, be the quarterback on the basketball court.
Whistle sounds. Smitty in the center circle for Defiance. Brady for Fairview. Wow, you can't score much quicker than 5 seconds.
Tip to the guard, layup.
Jordan
Great way
Wright,
to start.
lightning in a hot skillet. As Defiance making an early statement. Back into man-to-man defense. Good ball movement. They'll run a continuity or a motion-style offense for Fairview. Panico is the man that leads their charge. Again, trying to get more looks, but he has been hounded all season long. He averages nearly 14 a game.
Good patience by Fairview. They want a really good shot here. They're looking for it.
Well, Zedike driving and dishing, maybe taking his coach's comments to heart. Cut off baseline Scheninger, and that ball is out of bounds off of Fairview. They were patient.
They were.
But they didn't get the look they wanted.
No. Definitely. And Defiance did a nice job of collapsing there. You know, he made the penetration, but they did a nice rotation to prevent the easy bucket.
Back right now, looks like in a soft man-to-man. On the drive, Wright running one-hander, got a good look. Ball kicks out to him. Schlatter with an early heat check. Around the world, it kicks out.
Good shot by Defiance. Good looks. 2 really good looks.
Here's athlete on athlete. Our number 2 versus your number 2. Logan Hutchinson on William Zedike. Panico popped out, but the pass was a little low. He's going to take right baseline. And their undersized center, Brady, kicks it back out. Right now the ball movement looks sharp for Fairview, but they almost turn it over.
Very sharp. Very crisp. They're taking care of the ball very well.
And that was just a heads-up play by Brady. Nothing doing. Let's kick it back out and reset.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Open look, 3. Halfway down, Scheninger can't find the range. Brady with the board. Wide open, Zedike wants it. He almost banked it in. Hutch with the rebound. It's 1-on-3. He doesn't care. He's going to go all the way in, and he's stripped. Out of bounds. Last touched by. Looks like it will remain Defiance basketball.
Yeah, good transition by both teams. They're trying to get out and run. Fairview did a nice job of getting back to stop the easy layup. Let's see what they can do now on the inbounds.
Ooh, lob pass to nobody. Stolen away by Salyers. So still 2-0. 2 minutes and some change into the first half. Nobody's popping, but nobody's coming out on the ball either. So right now, Schinninger's just hanging on to it. Now Zedike gets it in between the circles. Fairview clearly wants to slow this tempo down.
Yeah, Fairview's running. Looks like they're running like a 4-out offense.
Nice aggressive move by Brady as he will draw the foul and head to the free throw line. Is it going to be Ligon? Nope, it's going to be Schmitty. His first team foul, number 1.
Brady's working hard. He's already gotten 1 offensive rebound. He's doing a lot of the dirty work. Took it up strong right there to create the foul. Young man's come to play tonight.
Brady, a 65% free throw shooter, connects on his first. Substitutions checking in for Defiance. Hutchison and Smitty will head to the bench as Singleton will check in for Defiance. Likewise, Horvath. Jackson tries to tie it up. He's a little long. Right with the board. He wants to run. He's now running the point guard chores as Ligon, the big man, does have some range. Halfway down, it kicks out.
Good clean shot. Just a little off the mark. Defiance is staying in their man-to-man defense.
Oh, this is a big heat check, and it doesn't catch anything. Levi Panico draws multiple jerseys, and he's face-guarded pretty much for 32 minutes every game. Coach Panico told me he knows that he's got to catch and shoot. He has to make the decision literally in a split second. Am I going to drive? Am I going to pass? Or am I going to shoot? As Singleton drives, sees this one tantalize him on the rim, but nothing doing. I'm guessing Panico, though, that probably wasn't the shot that the coaching staff wanted.
I don't know all the feats as far as the three-point range, but I think that was definitely from NBA range. That was a long ways.
Jackson got a good look, crashing the glass, and Schinninger with the offensive putback marked down the 4:37 mark in the first quarter. That's when Fairview's first basket from the floor comes.
Fairview's working hard on the offensive glass.
Right on the drive, nice dish to Ligon. Does he want to muscle up? Switches from the right to the left hand and drains the baby hook.
Nice shot, good patience there.
Bulldogs back on top by a point. Dribble drive penetration. Brady knows that's not his shot.
No.
It's the old phrase Coach used to say, your reason for an open, son.
That's right. Your shot's from the paint.
I might have misworded that. You're open for a reason, son.
Yes.
That ever haunt you when you went to bed?
Hey, I was a forward. I know exactly how he feels. I didn't even look at the rim. I looked at someone with my same color jersey.
Lob pass in a very slow tempo ball game right now.
It is.
And this is playing more to Fairview's favor.
Agreed, 100%.
Salyers.
Good defense by both groups right now.
But Horvath right on Panico. Panico's going to back him down. Muscles up. Brute strength won't get him, and the board won't fall. The rebound. Here comes Wright. 1-on-4. That's good transition D by Fairview.
Without a doubt.
Stop and pop from the elbow. Ligon just didn't quite have his base underneath him.
No, he did. I think Defiance needs to get a better shot. They're forcing some shots here.
Panico trying to back Horvath down. Leans in. Lots of contact. He leaves it short. Ligon outlets to Wright. And Singleton got a little ahead of himself.
Yeah, a little travel call there. I think Defiance needs to just slow it down a little bit once they don't have the transition layup and they force some shots. Let's get into the offense and see what we can create right now. It seems like it's one pass, two passes, and let's put it up.
Jonah Schinninger. Try saying that 10 times fast.
That's tough.
We'll
it's hard
check
saying
in
it
for
once.
Fairview. Brez Zipfel and Hutchison will check back in for Defiance. So you got 3 starters sitting on the bench right now for the Bulldogs. And is this going to be a jump ball? Still loose, far side. Refs let them play on. And Coach Panico wanted a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Well, Defiance scored in the first 5 seconds, immediately off the tip. And if that had been any indication, we would have thought we'd seen a track meet. But right now, just 7 total points between both teams with just under 3 minutes left to go, Coach.
Yeah, definitely, Brendan. I think what you might be seeing is the layover from last night. Both both teams in are really, really physical games, mentally just big-time games, and they both came up short. So, I think we're feeling the after effects of that, and it's still early yet. We'll see if they can get into their rhythm, what they're used to doing, and I'm sure that's what the coaches are talking about right now.
Buzzer sounds. Defiance will break the huddle. Again, Cy Schlatter, Logan Hutchison, Brez Zipfel, Dre Singleton, and Will Horvath. Fairview countering right now with William Zedike being dogged by Hutch. Nice cut to the basket, but the pass was a little high. Nice attempt by Jonah Schinninger, but unable to save it.
Good defense by Defiance, forcing the skip pass across court, and it was off the mark, and turnover for Fairview. That's what Defiance needed.
Hutchison slowing things down, wanting to run a good half-court set. And just as I say that, Singleton launches a quick three. Good hustle by Horvath, and he's going to take it hard at the hoop. He draws the foul.
Great hustle by that young man, receiving, the offensive rebound, and then noticing there was a lane and taking the lane. Good court awareness.
I believe this is going to be Noah Schinninger, and it is his first, team foul number 1. But Horvath to the line to shoot a pair. Horvath, are you kidding me? Just a 16% free throw shooter. He's 1 of 6. Drains his first here. You can only go higher, right?
It just went a little bit higher.
Yes,
right
it
there.
did.
Yeah.
Wright and Ligon checking back in. Singleton, and it looks like Schlatter will take a seat on the Defiance bench. Horvath trying to go 100% here and double up the Bulldogs' lead. He cannot.
Once it's around.
Rebound, and check this out. Tall drink of water, and he just loses the basketball. I was about to give Logan Mosier all kinds of credit. Logan Mosier, the 6'9" sophomore center, is now in for Fairview.
Definitely got some height.
Yep. Ziffel launches, nothing doing. Schinninger with the rebound, and he'll hang on to it as he will outlet. All right, with Panico on the bench right now for Fairview, it will be interesting to see who the number 1 option for the Apaches is going to be. As I stand corrected, Panico snuck back in on me. You little rascal. He takes the shot, and looks like, did he draw the foul?
Yeah, he did, yep. He saw an open lane, he took it, and he got – actually, they fouled him out on the perimeter, so he's not shooting 2, but they got the ball underneath the bounds.
Horvath, the guilty party for the Bulldogs. Salyers with it, swings it, left wing. Boy, Schinninger thought about it, comes off a screen, muscles up, and a little too hard off the square. Ziffel through his legs, bodies flying everywhere, and this is going to be a foul, and I believe it's going against Hutchison.
That's tough. You got 2 kids going after the ball, hustling after a loose ball, and one kid gets called for a foul. Great effort by both teams, though, on that. Coach Lehman's a little upset. He says, grab the ball. I think we heard him all the way up here.
Yes, we did.
Fairview is getting quite a few second chances.
They have slowed this tempo down, but shots just haven't fallen. The Schinninger falling out of bounds. Oh, wow, that's a heads-up play by Panico to tap it to a teammate, but the ball was short-armed by Schinninger. Panico with a $120 and counting, being dogged by Zippel. Crossover, quick hands by Singleton. Does he want the jam? Does he want the sure basket? Around the world, it kicks out. Battle for the ball in the paint. Oh, my gosh. Last week, remember, he went up for the dunk against Van Wert, and he tanked it. Smart move there, but again, just couldn't finish.
Just a little too hard.
8 total points in this game. Now make it 10 as Panico on the drive with a little finger roll.
Yeah. Panico is making a lot of penetration. Defiance is going to have to make an adjustment and try to stop him or at least double him to prevent that.
Tied at 5. Singleton tests the waters, dishes off. Ligon, short baseline jumper. That's good ball movement.
Yes, it is. Yep. Good look. Good ball movement. Yep.
Now remember, Singleton is off the bench, but he's the team's, third leading scorer at 11 points.
Yeah, he can definitely come off the bench and give the team a spark, without a doubt.
10 seconds. Fairview puts their offense in motion. Nice drive, nice dish, open look, completely airmailed, and we've got a whistle. Out of bounds. So with 4.9 seconds left, one pass, one dribble. If you're efficient, Defiance could get the shot. We'll wait and see how much pressure Fairview wants to put on. It looks like they're not going to pick up until maybe about half court here.
In the old days, they would call that over the back.
Wright crosses over. 2 seconds. 1 second. He'll get a good look from three. Almost banked it in. And we have come to the end of the first 8 minutes. Low scoring affair. Bulldogs 7. Apaches 5. We will take a Mark Motes Ford timeout. Serving the Defiance community since 1916. Mark Motes Ford, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com. We'll take a 60-second break. Back with the second quarter right after this on DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the Dog Pound, just underway. Second quarter, Defiance 7, visiting Fairview 5. Low scoring game. Brent Balbinot alongside the coach Chris Dales. Apaches have the ball to begin the second 8 minutes, but again, Defiance's defense has been smothering right now.
Yeah, playing excellent defense.
The 6'7 center Garrison Smitty has checked back in. The much smaller Jackson Brady tried to attack him, but drug his pivot foot. That's good defense. Leads to a turnover for the Bulldogs.
Created a turnover. And, the first half, in my opinion, just real sluggish. Guys just got to get out there, get the juices flowing, get some energy going, and try to create. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Josiah Slatter heard the coach from all the way up in the mezzanine. Count it. And he draws the foul.
Good look, good penetration. There we go.
Foul going against Levi Panico. Schlatter to the free throw line, an 87% free throw shooter. This kid, I'm not going out on too flimsy a limb here, Coach, to say he'll play at the college level.
Yeah, he has the skills, and he's got a lot of growth yet. He's still, fairly young. He can do well.
Right there, he taps the ball to Ligon with the steal. Look at the big man running. They'll get it to Schlatter on the drive. Sophomore picking up here to open up quarter number 2. Coach Panico wants a timeout. He's seen a 5-0 run to open up the second quarter. Is this a full or a 30? It's a full, so we'll take one with them. A Mark Motes Ford timeout. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. Bulldogs up by 7. Back right after this on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Buzzer sounds at the Dog Pound. Just under 7 minutes left to go first half. Defiance, I'm guessing Coach Bryn Lehman maybe preached a little fire in that huddle in between the first two quarters. They have come out and looked just like a different ball club, and in particular, sophomore Cy Schlatter. He's got all 5 of the Bulldogs' points, and it's a 7-point advantage right now for Defiance.
They're being aggressive on the offensive end and on the defensive end.
On-ball defense has been great, and there's maybe a little bit of pup in the young sophomore at 6'9". Catch that ball and go up strong.
There's no one going to block it. He tried to volleyball it
He
up
did.
there.
Mosier got a little nervous. Here comes Ligon, right at Jackson. Big on big, and Jackson cuts him off. Schlatter, nice crossover. All the way to the iron. It's unkind. Out of bounds.
Fairview ball.
Apaches will take possession. Still good aggressive move by the sophomore.
Yeah, definitely so. And again, they're attacking the basket, and things are going to open up. They're going to double him. Someone's going to slide over. He's got to be able to dump it. But the good thing about Defiance is they're getting good shots in close, and they're being aggressive. Better than the first quarter.
Look at the on-ball defense. This is just man-on-man, and Hutchison is flirting with 10, and Zedike loses the ball. Wright dives on it. No press, nothing other than we're putting our best on your best, and that is what Logan Hutchison does.
It's all about effort. It's all about effort, and that young man's giving it all right there. And it created a turnover, obviously, but the other players see that, and they can feed off of this, bring more energy to them.
He doesn't even average a point a game, but he averages 3 assists, a rebound, and he does that defensively. And then what he just did there, he got in Zedike's head. Zedike was still frustrated from the previous play and fouled him.
Yep. You know, it doesn't show in the box score, but he's doing so much for the Bulldogs, and that type of player you just cherish, and you can't thank him enough for everything that they do.
I mean, normally you think of a junkyard dog as being an undersized forward. I think you got a junkyard dog at the point here for Defiance.
He does a lot for him.
That ball going out of bounds as they tried to get, I think it was right on the baseline cut. Nothing doing. But Hutch, look at him. Again, right in Zedike's jersey. And Zedike looks like a different player this time up the court.
Got a little bit more fire underneath of him. Yep.
On the drive, Schinninger. Nice dish down low. Good pump fake by Brady, and he gets 2 off the square.
Good penetration by Fairview. Defiance didn't rotate down to get the open guy. Hopefully, they'll be able to do that in possessions to come.
Hutch drives and dishes. Ligon for 3, our first of the ball game. It is a Premier Bank three-pointer, 15-7, and Coach Panico wants a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here.
Yeah, Coach Lehman, I think, took the timeout right there, and I think what he's talking for is defensively is Fairview's getting some pretty good penetration, and they got to have some help defense to get to the low block, and I'm sure that's what he's talking about, because you can't give a wide-open, easy bucket to the Apaches. Uncharacteristic of Defiance.
Very much so. Look, both coaches right now are playing chess.
They are.
Not checkers.
Yeah, they are, yep.
And if you're Fairview, you got to understand, too, again, they've only been averaging, I think it's 37 points per ball game. So if you're Jake Panico, 8 points seems more like 18.
Yeah, and every possession right now counts, without a doubt. Little full court press. Ooh, trap press by Defiance.
Now, who wants to attack it here? Panico does not. They'll go over the top of it. Zedike, good ball movement.
Good job by Fairview breaking the press.
Schinninger in between the circles, but he's looking over at Coach Panico, who signals the offense that he wants him to go into. Picks up his dribble in the high blocks. Somebody's got to come help him. He's flirting with 5. Jackson does. Hands it off, and Salyer's on the drive. It's going to be a blocking foul, and take your pick. 3 white jerseys were over there. I think it's going to be, it's going to be Wright. I thought it might be Smitty.
You can definitely tell that Fairview's number 1 goal is to attack the basket, and let's get a shot inside the paint. That's exactly what they're trying to do here. Gets the roll.
Well, clock stopped. Chance to cut into the deficit from the charity stripe. Salyers, second is on the way, in and out. Good rebound by Cy Schlatter. Oh, got a little, I was going to say over-anxious with the pass, but it Still
Good
pays
effort.
dividends for Defiance, but again, I think Coach Panico is maybe challenging his guys to pick up their effort at the defensive
without
end.
a doubt. Yep, let's challenge them.
Under 5 left to go first half. Singleton on the drive, but cut off. He's going to lean in. Smitty kicks it back out up top.
Fairview playing very, very good man-to-man defense right now. They're really sagging for the help.
Ligon has it stripped, and Johnny on the spot. It bounced right back to him. And Wright will wisely back it out and reset the offense.
Fairview is keeping 2 guys in the paint.
Yep. Oh, what a great move, and good movement without the ball by Garrison Smitty. He's in the books.
Attack the basket. Nice pass. Easy layup for him. When you're 6'7", you're that close to the basket and you're wide open. You got to love it.
17-8. This is a heat check by Scheninger. Long board kicks out. Schlatter with it. He's got his dribble if he wants it, and now he'll bring it across the timeline. Singleton constantly in attack mode. Right in between the circles, he'll back it out. Up by 9.
Defiance a set play, double screen for him.
Right, spots up. Couldn't get it, and I think we're going to have an over the back on Ligon.
Good set play by Defiance. Good wide open shot, just off the mark. And they were being aggressive on the offensive rebound. Just got it, went over the Fairview's player. Good positioning by Fairview.
Ligon with his first. Defiance will head back to play D. Whistle sounds. Oh, the ball falls and one coming. Well, what did we say about it in the pregame? Coach Panico really challenging William Zedike, his point guard, to get more aggressive.
And that's what he's doing, and it's only going to make him better in so many different fashions of the game. Obviously driving, people opening up when they collapse on him.
He cannot complete the three-point play, so the lead remains 7. Quick outlet. Singleton attacking the glass. Count it, and one coming. Wow. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
It is. It is.
And they're going to charge this one to Panico. Will be his second.
You know, Defiance is even being more aggressive. They've come out with more energy here since that timeout, early on in the second period.
Singleton, a 76% free throw shooter, but cannot complete the three-point play. We have had 3 free throws completed between both teams so far. Just been kind of a off night.
Yeah, it might be the legs thing from last night too.
Whoops, speaking of legs, hopping in front of the Defiance bench and realizing he was going to fall out of bounds. Zedike just kind of threw a prayer hoping a teammate would be there. No such luck.
And that's what people don't realize. These kids were playing less than 24 hours ago, and they're tired. They're tired physically, mentally. Their legs they're a little dragging. You just got to fight through it.
You know what this is, though? It's got the feel of a postseason tournament, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Defiance turns it over again. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go. Panico, who has been held pretty much in check, just one basket. Nice drive, nice dish.
Fairview's hanging around. They're not backing down.
19-12. Boy. And again, undersized, but Jackson Brady is playing taller than 6'2" right now for Fairview.
Yeah, he definitely is. Defiance, I think they're rushing a few of their shots. Just be a little bit more patient on offense.
Salyer's dishes to Scheninger. Zippel, though, had a handout on him. Jackson has picked up his dribble.
Nice defense by Defiance. Fairview tried 2 backdoor cuts. Defiance defended both of them really well.
Off a screen in the high blocks. Nice drive and dish. Scheninger can't finish on the feed from Salyers. Defiance trying to add to that 7-point lead. 95 seconds left to go in the half. Schlatter will drive baseline. Takes Panico hard, and oh my goodness. Halfway down, it spit out. It can't get any farther down the cylinder.
Sometimes that rim just is not nice. Good look by Defiance, though. Good penetration.
Absolutely. Wow. Schlatter's thinking, what do I got to do? 68 seconds left to go first half. Scheninger crosses over against Ziffel, but he was right into Ligon. That's good help defense.
Oh, man, he was just waiting on him.
Boy, that's also good anticipation by Panico. Runs right back into Ligon. Cross-court pass, Gavin Mead. Corner, 3-ball is good for Panico, a premier bank 3. And all of a sudden, it's just a 4-point game.
Good ball movement by Fairview. Made the 2 extra passes for the wide-open 3.
We'll see if Defiance wants to work for the final shot of the half. Looks like they're going to take the air out of the ball.
Yeah. Good decision.
Right, really being dogged, though, by Salyers. So they're not going to be able to do it uncontested, and now he'll back off of him. So both teams will catch about a probably 10 to 11 second breather. Usually about 10 seconds or so is when you want to start your offense.
Yeah, that's when you crank it up, offensively and defensively.
And we've hit 10 seconds. Right. Motioning. 6. Okay, they got to go. He's picked up his dribble. They screen for Schlatter, and he didn't quite have his base underneath him. Good defense by Fairview, and we have come to the end of the first half of play. Well, Defiance looked like they were about to kick it into another gear and maybe run Fairview out of the dog pound, but Fairview, slowing the tempo down and playing good half-court defense, has made a little bit of a run. And they're back to within 4s. Both teams head to their respective locker rooms. 19-15. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. We'll be back with the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the Dog Pound, it is time for the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. You can also check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. We are at the intermission, a very low-scoring ball game. Defiance leading visiting Fairview by 4, 19-15. Let's take a look at your unofficial scoring column. As a matter of fact, I got to double check because I know I'm short one basket on Fairview. They don't have the Jumbotron with the scoreboard up just yet. But what we can tell you, leading all players is Defiance's Khalil Ligon. He's got 7 at the intermission. He scored 4 in the first quarter, drained to 3 in the second. Hot on his heels is the sophomore, Cy Schlatter. Schlatter scored 5 points. As a matter of fact, he scored the first 5 points of the second quarter, coming out and being very aggressive. After that, it drops off. Nobody with more than 2. Jordan Wright with a basket. Garrison Smitty with a basket. Dre Singleton off the bench with 2. And Will Horvath from the charity stripe, 1 for 2. On the flip side, Levi Panico. He averages nearly 14 per ball game for Fairview. He's got 5 right now, and he has had to work for those 5. After that, Jackson Brady, their undersized post with 3. 2 apiece for Noah Schinninger and point guard William Zedike, and then 1 of 2 from the line for Cale Salyers. I'm really not sure that we can draw much from the first 16 minutes, Coach. I mean, I could ask you a rhythm, a run, a tempo, any particular player that stands out, but right now what we've got are both teams that just kind of seem like they're slogging through quicksand right now.
I think the proper term, and you hit on it, just they're sluggish right now in every fashion of the game. And, I don't know if it's the after effects, from last night, but this is going to be a grind, and this is going to be a game in the second half where things aren't going very well right now. Their teams are sluggish. Like I said, it's a grind. Every possession's going to count. We got to do things right. We can't turn the ball over. We can't give second shots, when we're on defense. So it's just one of those nights, and you have them. But both teams are right there, and both teams are in the game. And this is a game, too, where you got to stay true to your beliefs, stay true to your fundamentals and what you're trying to do, and you just got to really, really concentrate on them, get good shots, and it's all about effort. Some nights the ball just doesn't go in, but you can always control your effort. You give great effort, great things are going to go, and they kind of got to get out of that fog, kind of like what you mentioned earlier, and get out of that sluggish mode and get after it.
Well, let's also credit both teams' defense.
We
talked about how well they play defense in our pregame, and that hasn't changed. So, again, 24 hours, maybe not quite the legs underneath you that there would have been on a Friday night versus a Saturday night, but we talked about it. Defense does travel. Both these teams hang their hats on it. So a number of factors contributing to this. Remember what I called? 40 points wins? I'm beginning to think that maybe 30 the way they're playing right now. But it doesn't matter. Either coach will tell you they'll take a 30-point win versus scoring 50 and losing by 1. So let's start with Jake Panico in that Fairview locker room right now. What are you telling your team? What adjustments do you want to make?
We're right there, guys. And what I really saw in the second half is they had a lot of second chance opportunities down here, and they didn't convert. They also missed quite a few bunnies down here. If we convert those, we're tied or ahead. Fellas, just keep plugging away. Your effort is there defensively. I cannot fault you. You're holding Defiance to 19 points. I'll take it. Let's come out the second half. Let's match it. Let's do better defensively with great effort. And, hey, let's put in our bunny shots. Let's just get some shots to fall, be patient, and we got a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, Defiance comes into this one averaging 52 points per ball game, so they have been held well under their average. So let's flip to Coach Bryn Lehman in the Defiance locker room. What is he telling his team?
Guys, one, we're there. I think offensively, we'll start on that side of the court, is I think we're forcing some shots, or we're passing it once and taking a shot. You saw when we made 2-3 passes, got the ball inside, we got a nice easy layup, or we kicked it out. Let's just be a little bit more patient offensively. Maybe that will help us. Maybe we'll get better shots. And something else that it does, when you're patient on offense and people know what's going on, you're able to go to the offensive boards better. When you're just shooting or just making one pass and throwing it up, people aren't in position to get those second and third second chance shots, and Defiance is good at that. So that's where I would start at. And defensively, if I was Bryn Lehman, just keep challenging them. 15 points at half. Guys, you're doing a great job. Keep limiting them, to second chances, keep them off the boards, and, we'll come away with a win.
19-15, Fairview and Defiance both coming out almost at the exact same time for a quick shoot-around. We'll take another quick timeout. You're watching the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Bulldogs 19, Apaches 15, DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Just under a minute. Both teams will finish up their halftime shoot-around, and then we will get ready to resume play. Third quarter action here at the Dog Pound. 10-2, the Defiance Bulldogs stepping out of WBL action. They're 4-1, suffering their first loss in conference play last night in overtime to Shawnee. The Apaches of Fairview entering tonight's contest at 6-7. They fell last night to a very tough, very good Tenora squad this season.
Yep.
They are 2-2. But again, stepping out of conference play, and both coaches, we talked about this during the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame, a lot of quality basketball in Northwest Ohio. You don't have to count necessarily on playing a conference opponent to be able to keep yourself sharp, so to speak, and tonight's a perfect example of it.
Yeah, there's definitely no easy Saturday night games in this area, that's for sure. Quality of basketball, you hit it on the head. It's very, very good, and that's a tribute to the coaches, the coaching staffs, and the kids putting in the work in the off season that they need to do. And Northwest Ohio's good basketball, period.
And again, I'm going back a ways, and certainly a different state. But I remember when I played. Max on the schedule was 18. You would have to petition the High School Athletic Association to get anything more than that.
Yep.
So maybe you got 19 games. I know things have changed. Times have changed. But you've had very few out-of-conference opponents when I was playing high school ball.
It's true.
And now, look at them. Nothing for teams to play 20-plus games in a season.
Easily. 22. Yep. And over half of them are non-league.
Yep. Fairview trying to go down low. Scheninger was being aggressive, but he lost the ball. And here comes Schlatter. Ligon spots up. Left wing drains a 17-footer.
Good open shot by Defiance. Fairview caught in transition a little bit and didn't get to the open person.
Scheninger crosses over. Cut off. Ligon playing at both ends of the court. Zedike held to just 2 points at the half, and he's not a huge scorer. Coach Panico said, though, he wanted him to get more involved in the offense from an assist perspective. Spin move by Salyers. He's cut off by Schlatter. Zedike cut off baseline. That's great help defense. That's a long road to recover by Schlatter, and it still pays off. Ligon got swatted away, though, and here's Jackson.
There's that offensive rebound.
Oh, Scheninger had a good look. Panico with what we call a dagger. He taps it back out. He'll take a three. Still can't find it. They had, was it three or
shots.
Four different looks. Here comes Wright, going hard to the iron, and he's fouled.
You can't fault Fairview on the offensive end.
No.
I mean, they're doing everything they need to do, but, put it in the hole. And Defiance, great transition, getting back and getting the foul on the layup.
Foul's going to go against Jackson Brady. It's his first. Right to the line. He averages 8 points per game. He had 2 in the half. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Nothing is falling for anybody tonight.
In and out. That was right there. You have those nights. You just got to fight through it.
He will get another one. %50 from this trip.
In a game like this, 50% might be all you need.
I was going to say. Every point going to be at a premium tonight.
7-point lead for Defiance Bulldogs.
Beyond the arc, Scheninger. This is Jonah. Kicks it out to Noah. Long three. He's wondering what he's got to do. He's had 2 really good looks.
He has. Got to keep shooting.
Schlatter drives but dishes. Ligon, good ball reversal. Far corner, the sophomore. Boy, he is dead-eye.
Man, I tell you what, he set his feet. He got his body squared. That was nothing but net. Great form. They really needed that.
If I were to make a suggestion to number 10 coming out of his sophomore season, I would say get to some camps this summer.
Yeah, that and find the weight room.
But being a former football coach, you'd say that no matter what sport, right?
Yeah, I love it, when they used to interview Michael Jordan, and he's lifting before the games. He's lifting during the week. The game has changed. It is so physical. And if you do it the right way, the old adage is going to mess up your shot. No, it's not going to. Do it the right way and you'll be fine.
Schlatter getting dogged a little bit more now by Scheninger. Releases the basketball. Oh, Ligon, what a move, 360. And Jackson tapped that ball to himself. Heads up play.
I will say this. My son was the last 1,000-point scorer at Ayersville, and after every game on Friday night, you know where we were? In the weight room till 10 o'clock at night. Every single Friday night. And he was a 1,000-point shooter.
Scheninger picks up his dribble. Good hands by Schlatter. It's 1-on-3. He doesn't care. He's stripped. He's going up anyway, and he's swatted from behind, but Smitty's there. Lots of contact, no call, and I can understand why Jackson thought that might have been a charge.
Yeah, that could have went either way, but I like the no call. Because Smitty went straight up. I like it.
Smitty, at 6'7", has got some size on himself. He's more of a rebound man, but showing it right there as Hutchison, the junkyard dog on Scheninger, and a 30-second timeout being called by Coach Panico to try and prevent the turnover. And Hutch is down. Did he get poked in the eye?
The eyes or the nose?
Oh, he's holding his nose, and he might be bleeding. We'll wait and see. He knows no other way. But to follow up on your comments about your son and obviously Michael Jordan, I'm going to guess, like most of America that had plenty of time on their hands in 2020 during the COVID year. That ESPN series on the Bulls and Michael Jordan.
Was awesome.
Which ran 2 straight months every Sunday night. It became appointment television.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
I remember they were doing an interview with the Bulls strength and conditioning coach, and it was still relatively early in Jordan's career when the Pistons were ruling the show.
Oh, yeah, the bad boys, yep.
Basically the beat the snot out of Michael Jordan game plan worked.
That's right.
And after I think it was the second year of losing in 6, the strength and conditioning coach went to Michael Jordan that night as the team was getting on the bus, and he said, Michael, it's time. And Michael said yes, and he goes, let me know when you want to go ahead and hit the weight room, and I'll drop the plan. He said tomorrow. He said tomorrow.
The next day.
And that's what they did.
Yep.
Now, that's a special kind of athlete.
I think I watched that episode 2 or 3 times. I loved it.
Jackson fades away. Can't get the roll, and Smitty skies to pull down the board. 6-7, he dropped the ball down around his letters, and who's the foul on? Nope, they're going to say jump ball.
Jump ball.
Possession arrow points Defiance's way.
He had both hands above the rim. The only mistake is he brought it a little low.
Yep.
Keep it up high, and you're probably going to get fouled.
They're picking up at half court here, and a travel.
Okay.
They weren't quite ready for it. Trey Bibler has checked into the ball game. And now Smitty will check out, so will Schlatter. So we've got Bibler, Wright, Horvath, Ligon, and Brez Zipfel for Defiance. For Fairview, it will be Salyers. Zedike takes the inbounds. Jackson, Logan Mosier, the 6'9 sophomore center, has checked in. And here's Panico, open for 3. That's a rarity. And he couldn't get it, and that's a heads-up play by Wright to box out and allow the ball to go out of bounds.
Good seal. Yep. Fairview came out in a little half-court pressure. I think it caught Defiance in a little sleep mood right there. Got the turnover, but they weren't able to convert. And here they are again. Looks like a 2-2-1 half-court press or full-court press right now.
Yep, they're picking up three-quarters court. Zipfel and Wright playing a little catch, and Defiance goes over the top of it through the fingertips of Horvath. And there's where, again, the young man shaking his head, secure the ball first.
Definitely. 2 uncharacteristic turnovers by Defiance on 2 trips down because of the press.
That's what gave Defiance all kinds of problems in the fourth quarter last night, blowing a 10-point lead against Shawnee.
Yep.
And that is a nice drive and 2 off the square.
10-point game.
Coming up on 3 minutes left to go here in the quarter. High
like
blocks.
Fairview's in a zone.
And they tried to attack. The problem, though, is you got a 6'9" rim protector for Fairview just kind of hanging around, and he swats it away.
Looks like now they're going back to man-to-man.
Singleton top of the key. Nice cut by Ligon. That's pretty ball.
Good shot. Good shot. Good ball movement. Good set play by Defiance Bulldogs.
Ligon with 11. He averages almost 16. And the lead back up to 13.
Call those blobs.
Yep.
Good play by Defiance.
On the drive, Salyer's just seeing if he can't pick up some contact, and he does. Take your pick. 3 white jerseys all converged on him.
Looks like he was on the floor.
I think it's going to be Schlatter. It is his first. Tempo really hasn't picked up much more here in the third quarter, has it?
It's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same.
Look at Coach Panico. There was a slick spot on the baseline. Nobody else had done it. So this is what you do as a head coach, especially at a small school. He's playing towel boy as well.
Let me tell you, he's 100% right. You do it all. You clean toilets, you line fields, you clean courts, you do it all.
Levi Panico, they run an inbounds play for him, and he drains a Premier Bank three-pointer, and the lead cut to single digits. Ligon at the other end. That's a pretty-looking jumper.
2 trips down, 4 points for him, 2 good open shots.
He's got 13 on the night.
Quiet 13.
Yep, lead back up to 11. Panico is cut off by Singleton. Oh, great move as he repositioned while keeping his pivot foot.
Nobody was open. Hey, I'll take it to the rim.
Here comes that 1-2-2 press again. And they're going to extend it beyond the top of the arc.
Staying in it. Now they're back to a 2-3. Yep, 2-3 zone by Fairview.
And
see what Defiance does.
Yep, now they get the ball to their point guard right. Starts directing traffic. Good ball reversal. Ligon the first cutter through, nothing doing. Schlatter, a good pass would have been a quick 3. Instead he goes down low to Ligon, and a little pinball action finds its way to Panico.
He did the right thing by penetrating the seam on the zone. Fairview made a great defensive play.
Down by 9. What a crossover by Panico. Zipfel, though, with quick hands deflects it into the stands. As Singleton is going to check his ankles as he goes to the bench. Panico broke him.
Yeah. Fairview underneath the basket here. Nice play.
Jackson's going to, muscle up over the double team. Play. You had 6'4" and 6'7" on him, and he didn't care. Wow.
I ran that play when I coached basketball, and it's amazing how it works.
Oh, my. 31-24. It's a 7-point lead, and we have a timeout being called.
Timeout by Defiance, yeah.
Bryn Lehman, a look of frustration might be the best way to put it.
Yeah, a little bit. The middle's wide open, and I'm not for sure why Defiance isn't attacking the middle. Once they attack the ball, the middle on the press, so many things open up, and maybe that's what he's telling these guys right now. We'll see. But good time for a timeout, though.
Yep.
Use them. Get your legs a little bit, get your air a little bit, talk about some things, and let's try to finish this third quarter out strong with 54 seconds left.
31-24, 7-point lead. Second buzzer sounds. Inbounding will be Horvath. And apparently Hutchinson's okay.
Fairview staying in the 2-3 zone.
Yep. Good ball movement into the high blocks. Ligon draws 3 black jerseys. We've got a whistle.
Little hold call on Fairview.
It's going to go against Zedike.
When you don't see a lot of zone, you just got to be patient. I'm sure Coach Lehman has some set plays to run, but just be patient and attack the alleys.
Well, that's just it. So many people think to bust a zone, you got to have a three-point shooter, and that's not the case.
No.
There's multiple ways to break down a zone.
Yep, definitely.
And what we're seeing right here for Defiance is one of those. Again, good perimeter passing. And now they hold. You get my point, though.
It's kind of interesting because Fairview, when the ball's underneath the basket, they go to man-to-man. Usually teams go to zone just because they're afraid of a pick and easy basket. But their philosophy is a little bit different.
Defiance is going to work for the final shot. 11 seconds. They put the offense in motion. They're going to screen the zone. Hutch didn't attack, though. They'll reverse it. Now they got to move with 2 seconds. Up top, Schlatter for three. Got it! Just the way they drew it up, right?
Great ball movement, great patience. They were winding it down, and we didn't think they were going to get it off, but good open shot, good extra pass, and hey, that's the way to go into the fourth quarter.
And no panic by the sophomore. Nope. Cy Schlatter was catch and shoot ready, and he drains a Premier Bank three at the buzzer to end the third quarter. And with it, the Bulldogs back up by double digits, 34-24. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with the fourth and final quarter. You're watching DCTV Sports. Fourth quarter underway at the Dog Pound. Fairview gets another good look, but it goes trickling off the right side. And here comes Defiance with a 10-point lead. Both these teams suffered tough losses last night, both looking to get back in the winning column. Horvath, wide open, bounce pass, Smitty. Oh, great ball movement. Pass might have been deflected. And here comes Hutch in the middle of the paint.
Fairview's in their 2-3 zone.
Yep. Boy, this is just sharp ball movement by Defiance, and that's how you break down a zone. And there's a man who knows something, a thing or two about breaking down zones.
A little bit.
Coach Lehman, long time legend here. State championship to his team's credit. What was that, about 10 seasons ago, was it? I'm trying to think. Actually, not quite that long. It's hard to believe it's 2025 already. Was it 2015? Was that the state championship year for?
2015, state champions. Yep. A lot of respect for the man in the area. He's done a lot of great things, not only for the basketball program, but also the community. And he had some great stops at Rossford and I believe Tenora also. And so he's been around the game and he's passed it on to his son, and it just seems like it just keeps on flowing.
It's a basketball family.
There you go.
Brent, of course, has a little bit more hair than Dad right now, but
yeah, that's okay.
Still a little dark.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure Dad will tell him another couple years, and those will start turning gray.
Yeah, and it's not going to be there. Yep. So true. People don't realize the stress that coaching puts on you. But you do it because you love it, and you do it because of the kids.
Couple free throws makes it a 10-point lead again. Good ball movement. Ligon open for three. Nice job, nice hustle by Smitty. It's knocked out of bounds by Mosier. Now you see 6'9" Mosier, the sophomore, versus 6'7" Smitty there, the senior, but you can tell height doesn't always spell the difference there. You can tell one kid's had 2 extra years in the weight room.
Yeah, definitely. And Mosier had him boxed out, but Smitty just out-muscled him to the ball, and another possession for Defiance, and every possession counts.
Wright wanted to drive, got a little ahead of himself, and ball deflected. Panico doesn't panic. Gets it to his teammate, and Salyers will head to the charity stripe as he drove in with the left hand.
Good look and great body awareness. He saw the Defiance fender, coming. He went up, put his hip into him, drew the foul, and he's shooting two. And just great body awareness.
To the lines. He cannot convert on his first.
Fairview's got to make these count. They got to get into that lead, and a great way to do it is from the foul line with the clock not running. Let's see if he can hit this one.
Salyer's second is on the way. He's got it. Give him 4 points on the night. I wasn't sure if they would come out and press, but right now down by 9. Looks like Coach Panico just wants them to play good half-court defense.
Yeah, the press did cause him, gave him some extra possessions and caused Defiance some problems.
They've switched, they being Fairview, back to a man-to-man this trip down the court. Schlatter releases.
Maybe they're just trying to take Defiance out of their rhythm, just changing things up.
On the drive, nice job to be aggressive by Horvath, and I believe this one's going against Salyers. His first, team foul, number 1.
I like it when coaches throw different things at teams, makes them prepare and just makes them just work a little bit harder, be a little bit more patient.
Ligon. Top of the key, they'll reverse it. Horvath in the corner. Free throw line extended. Spun. Nice crossover. Doesn't finish. Out of bounds off of Defiance. Boy, nifty move, and he's shaking his head. That's the second time he's had a good look tonight and just didn't fall.
He's shaking his head because he got raked over the nose again. He's got a nose plug in. He got drilled pretty good again, and then for whatever reason, the referees didn't see it that way.
Fairview with another chance to cut into this deficit. It's down to single digits. Panico on the drive. Horvath got caught.
He's playing hard, though, defensively. He's getting after it.
Horvath with his second. This is a phrase that I learned from Coach Todd Werner at Division III Coe College all the way back in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But I was watching a practice once as they flash Panico in the corner, and if he starts to find it, look out.
6 points.
A Premier Bank 3, and all of a sudden it's a 36-30 game. But Coach Werner said to one of his guys once who fouled and allowed an easy basket, and he said, sometimes when you're beat, you're beat. Don't make it worse.
Yep. I always called that a double negative is what I called that. Okay, don't add to it. Don't create more.
Ligon with a nifty move, gets 2 off the square. We have a timeout, so we'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Serving the community since 1916. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmoatsford.com. 30-second break. Bulldogs up by 8. Back with more on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
This tells you.
Awesome.
We welcome you back. Dog Pound is the scene. 38-30. Bulldogs with the lead over visiting Fairview.
5 minutes left here. Both teams are right there. If Fairview can get some stops, that surely would help. Looks like Defiance is going to go with a little man-to-man full court press.
Right, just picking up the ball. Panico all of a sudden has become hot. He's got 15.
He's taking charge, that's for sure.
And Defiance going to put one of, if not their best on-ball defender on him. Schlatter, nice job to cut off the baseline on Salyers. Zedike. Boy, Hutch is on him. Look at the on-ball defense. That's a prayer. That's an absolute prayer thrown up, and that's, again, Hutchison doing a great job and a nice job by Ziffel to drop down and pull down the board.
There's no statistic that just showed what he just did. Just hard-nosed defense, forcing a really bad shot by Fairview.
Right stops. Nice right to left step in. Makes a difference when you get your footwork down.
You know, and you feed off of that defensive play. Defiance comes down, runs a good set play, 2 easy points. Good things happen when you play defense.
And then if you're Fairview, how much wind does that take out of your sails? You look up and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game again. Yep. Panico, we've got a whistle, and the foul's going to go against Wright.
Just a few seconds ago with 6 points. 2 big baskets by Defiance and caused by their defense.
Under 4.
Defiance in their man-to-man defense here.
Well, Panico falls down. And loose ball. Zedike doing battle with Hutchison. Both teams' point guards have gone to the court multiple times tonight.
Defiance possession. Just kids just balling it out right there, going for the loose ball, and it's in favor of Defiance.
Boy, dangerous wraparound pass. Nice backdoor cut by Wright. He didn't quite have it. He turned and fired a fadeaway baseline jumper, and it's out of bounds off of Defiance.
A great backdoor, like you said. I thought he double dribbled, but you're probably right. He just lost it. His back was to us.
Zedike crosses over. It's fair to say, whoa, Zedike with an offensive foul. There's the frustration of Hutchison being in his jersey all night long.
Yeah, great positioning. Zedike's getting frustrated. There's no place for him to go, and he pushed off, and he got called for it. And, I can't say enough about Hutchison and his job defensively tonight.
He'll cross over, and whoa, from behind, Zedike strips him, but Johnny on the spot, Schlatters there. And you can tell Zedike is taking this personally.
Those two are getting after it. They are getting after it.
Zedike says, okay, I'm going to get in your kitchen now. And the next 3:02. Plus, let's also be honest, Fairview realizes it's crunch time now.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
now or never.
Yep, definitely. Yep. Coach Lehman was a little upset at that call right there. He was riding the referees for some reason.
Well, it's Zedike's 4th. And he's going to come out and watch. For how long, we're not sure. Wright being picked up by Salyers. Ligon, he didn't need the 3 there. Stops and pops from 15. Doesn't get the roll. Look at that. The sophomore skies to outjump everybody. Wright will launch a 3 at the top of the key.
Great offensive rebound by Defiance. Time is, a big factor right now. Let's get into the flow of things. It was one pass and shoot. Would have liked to see them, look for a little bit better shot.
Well, Jonah Scheninger, I believe, has got a bloody nose. So that's why the official called time, and he is looking for somebody to come help him at the end of the bench. He's got his head cocked all the way back, and no tissues, no nothing. I believe Jake, Defiance's trainer, is going to go down now and try and help him.
Yeah.
Panico crosses over, but with 2.5 left, every possession is a must-score possession for Fairview.
Yeah, Fairview's going to have to go. They're going to have to go right away.
Zedike with 4 fouls, forces one up over Hutch, misses everything. Rebound on the weak side by Schlatter.
Take your time, Defiance. Get a good shot. No need to hurry.
What did I tell you at the pregame? 40 points wins it tonight?
40 points, yep.
Ooh, and Zedike is just fouled out, and Hutch showed a little bit of a grimace there, and he looks over. Both point guards have really been physical tonight.
They have. It's been a good, clean battle by both of them. Both of them are competitors, and you can see that out there, on the court.
So Zedike will finish with 4. The inbounds to Ligon. And right now, Defiance doesn't need to do anything except hang on to the basketball.
Take care of the basketball. We saw Defiance go to 4 corners here, a few games ago, and maybe they'll do that, or they'll just take the easy 2 points.
Big man to big man.
Good look by Smitty. Wow, good court awareness. Unselfishness.
19 on the night for Ligon. As Panico launches a 3, it's going to be short, right with the ball. Panico almost runs up this backside. And Schlatter will now outlet to Wright. And he will just kind of hang around half court. Tell you what, Fairview, if they can figure out a second scorer besides Panico, they're going to be awfully, awfully dangerous. I mean, if you would have told Coach Jake Panico you're going to hold Defiance to 42 points before this game tipped off, 9 out of 10 coaches would probably feel very good about their chances to win.
You know, Brett, you're 100%. You know, they got to figure out some way, somehow, to get other people involved. And it might be just set plays because they got what it takes here. They play good defense.
Schlatter, an 87% free throw shooter, connects on both. Cy, a quiet night, but he's got 10. This one goes around the world and kicks out.
We've seen that a lot tonight.
44-30. Schlatter just kind of keeping his dribble down low, and Panico will foul him. And the sophomore will head back to the charity stripe. You know I don't believe in the broadcaster's jinx, but he is a perfect 3 for 3 from the line tonight.
Oh, we'll see here.
Cy fires, hits, and I'll take complete credit for it.
100% you should. This is just good Defiance. Hey, they're getting themselves to the foul line. They're making them. You know, they're really spreading the gap here. Good job for them.
Sophomore now has 12. It's a 16-point lead as we approach 1 minute. Panico with a heat check. Halfway down, it kicks out. Look at Panico, though. He's still challenging on the outlet. They're going hard.
Still playing.
And it's paying off. The sophomore dives to the floor. Mosier and Ligon. And what's the official call here?
I don't think he knows.
Both officials, two officials, I should say, are talking it over. We're going to have, it's got to be a call. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a travel.
That's what I thought.
All right.
Because there was no Fairview on the ball or touching the ball.
So Panico will inbound on the baseline with 49 and 2/10 seconds left. And Coach Jake Panico is going to empty his bench.
Good call.
We got all kinds of newbies checking in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to go off the JV roster because I believe that's probably who's coming in. Anthony Singer, number 55, is a freshman. Rayshawn Malsby is number 11. Who else we got? Number 15, Blake Tarkington. Long three, nothing doing. Offensive board fading away. Still nothing by Scheninger. Freshman trying to put one up. Look at this Singer going in amongst a bunch of other upperclassmen. Out of bounds, and it still stays with Fairview.
Hey, those young guys are getting in. They're getting their shot, and they're giving all the energy they have and trying to show the coach, hey, coach, maybe I can get some more varsity minutes.
I'm looking down at the spelling. It's Tarkington, not Tarkenton, so – you remember who I'm talking about, though, right? Absolutely.
Yes,
Fran
sir.
the Scram.
Oh, man.
Long three by Panico. And we got a whistle.
Minnesota Vikings.
Ironically, the first year that the Vikings made the Super Bowl was Super Bowl III versus the Jets. Versus the Chiefs, excuse me. Yeah, it was the Chiefs versus the Jets in the last – trying to think, was it 67 or 68? It was Kansas City, Green Bay, Oakland. Then it was Baltimore Jets. And then it was, I believe, Kansas City Vikings because it was the last year the AFL and the NFL played. So that was the first year that the Vikings made the Super Bowl. Tarkington was not the quarterback then. Do you remember who it was?
Well, I will tell you this. I was born in 1968, so I'm not for sure.
Ligon drains both. Joe Cap.
Oh, man.
The old California Bear. Tarkington had been traded to the Giants. He played 1 year in New York and then came back to Minnesota.
I did not know that.
Tarkington. Long. Scheninger. Off the right side. Smitty pulls it down, and he'll just hang on to it for the final 7 seconds.
I give Fairview a lot of credit, though. They came out and played hard, and
extremely.
They really did, and holding Defiance to 48 points, and it was a lot closer than 48 to 30 most of the way. They cut it to 6 points, and you got to give them credit. They definitely played hard versus the Bulldogs tonight.
So with the victory, the Bulldogs get the taste of last night's overtime loss to Shawnee out of their mouth, and they pick up win number 11 on the season. The Apaches, a future team,
Definitely.
but they fall to 6 and 8.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot they can take away from this game too, and they're playing one of the better teams in Northwest Ohio for sure, in Defiance, and for the most part, they were right there with them. A lot of good things.
We anticipate being joined by head coach Bryn Lehman and possibly a player. I'm not sure if Coach Panico is going to come up and join us or not, but either way, we will have somebody on our South 66 Lanes postgame show. So don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. 2-minute break. We're back with our postgame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Buy your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
And we welcome you back to the South 66 Lanes post-game show back at the Dog Pound, DCTV Sports. Brent Balmanon alongside the coach Chris Dales. It was a meat grinder tonight, but Defiance gets the bad taste of last night's overtime loss to Shawnee out of their mouth with a 48-30 victory over a very gritty, very game, but just a little bit offensively challenged Fairview squad. What jumps out at you tonight?
Just that it was a grind. You could tell that both teams were in tough games last night, and both teams came out a little flat. Both teams came out sluggish and battled through it, made a few adjustments. Defiance had a good run there in the third quarter, and then Fairview fought back to close it to 6. And then, Defiance just kind of ran one with it at the end. But just the heart, the kids played hard, and, you're not always going to get the ball to fall. And their effort was there tonight. And just a grind-out game is what it was tonight.
Take a look at it. I guess you could jump on Khalil Liggins' 21 points, but you looked over at me as we were I was putting pen to paper here to put the unofficial scoring together, and you said a quiet 21.
Oh, yeah,
that
definitely.
sounds ironic, but it may be in tonight where it was just such a defensively oriented, very physical ball game. You look down because he only had 7 at the half.
Right.
So 14 of those came in the second half. But the one thing I think that sticks out to me, at least regarding Khalil's performance tonight, was I don't think he took maybe more than one bad shot.
No,
the rest of the time he let the offense come to him.
Yeah. And he's doing a great job, and I just hope that Defiance can maybe get more people involved, because as they get going down the tournament, he's going to get their best defender.
Yes.
We'd really like to see some other kids step it up, but he's definitely stepping up, and his shot selection is great. You got to love that. His shot is smooth, and right now he's playing well offensively.
Let's go ahead and run down the unofficial scoring totals for everybody. We mentioned Ligon leading all players with 21. For Defiance, one other player in double figures, sophomore Cy Schlatter, finished with 12. And what really impressed me was he was 4 for 4 in the closing minutes, I guess I should say, of the fourth quarter. As a matter of fact, Defiance was 6 for 6 to help kind of salt the game away when Fairview tried to make that late run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he played a quiet game too. He hit some good shots, and they were good open shots, and I just like how he's smooth out there, and for a sophomore, he's physical, he gets after it, and you can tell Defiance is really starting to find their groove, and you got to like the way they're playing right now.
Rounding out the scoring, Jordan Wright hits his average at 8 points. Garrison Smitty, the 6'7" center, with 4. Then 3 bench points, 2 coming for Dre Singleton. This is a kid that's averaging almost 13 off the bench.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Will Horvath hits 1 of 2 from the free throw line. No bench points for Fairview. All of their scoring coming from their 5 starters. And no surprise who leads the way, Levi Panico. He had 5 at the half. He finishes with 15. The trouble is they don't have that second scorer established yet.
Yeah, they're really going to have to try to figure out something if they go to some special sets for some other players or get him driving more in addition. But, he's their team right now, and it's easy to defend one person, and that's what people are doing it to them. And, some other kids definitely got to step it up.
Rounding out the scoring for the Apaches, 5 points for their undersized center, Jackson Brady. I don't know what else you can ask out of this young man. He's squeezing hard. Just about everything he can out of his height, his size. I mean, at 6'2", he's playing up against 6'4", 6'5". In the case of Garrison Smith, he's 6'7". He plays bigger than 6'2".
He does, and he doesn't back down at all. Not so well. And you got to love that. He just kind of limited on size, but his heart's there, and he's playing hard. And as a coach, can't ask for anything more. 4
points apiece for starting point guard William Zedike. He fouled out with 2:46 left to go in the ball game. Cale Salyers with 4 points, and then a deuce for Noah Scheninger. Those are your unofficial scoring totals for both Fairview and Defiance. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. We're back with more of the South 66 Lanes postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the Dog Pound, as you can see, the last of the crowd kind of milling around, heading towards the exits. Fairview's team, obviously their bus parked in the back, walking their way on your TV screen there from right to left as they gave themselves a good showing this evening. This was a 4-point game at the half, but again, just still searching for offense as they fall 48-30, and really the game was closer than 18 points. It was. That score is misleading, but at the same time, you don't get style points.
No.
With the win, the Bulldogs get back on the winning track. They're now 11-2 overall. This was an out-of-conference game for both of these two teams, so didn't affect the WBL or the GMC standings. The Apaches fall to 6-8. As a matter of fact, on the horizon, the Apaches, we can tell you, will be off until Tuesday, the 24th, when they will take on Antwerp. They've been on the road quite a bit. As a matter of fact, their last 4 games have all been away from their home gym. So my guess is they won't mind sleeping in their own beds and not having to hop on the bus and make that long drive, as they will finally get to play at home on Tuesday against Antwerp. On the flip side, for Defiance, they will be making a short bus ride to Archbold. Archbold is just... It's one of those schools, and I don't care what the sport is, but especially basketball. And I know if you live in this area, sometimes it's easy to talk about some of the bigger schools, but you just don't ever sleep on Archbold. And that is a team that they were at, I'm trying to think, was it Swanton last night, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was Delta. It was either Swanton or Delta. I cannot remember. But that's a team that has a very proud history of basketball, and that's not going to be any cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. So rest assured, we'll have a win under their belt, maybe a little bit of wind in their sails. Coach Lehman's going to say, time to get focused, because a very good team is going to be waiting for us when we get off the bus.
We talked about it off air. Just, there's so many good teams here in Northwest Ohio, and Archbold, fits that build, 100%. And the tradition for basketball has been tremendous. And no matter who's coaching, the kids are going to play hard. They're going to be coached real well. And you got to come in ready to play. If not, things might not go so well over there. But that's why you put people like that on your schedule.
Yes.
You don't want those easy fluff games. And in basketball, it doesn't matter. These things prepare you for the tournament. A little different philosophy, for football. You got to make it in. You got to win. Basketball, no. You want to play. You want to play good people and see where you're at and see what you can do to get better. See where your weaknesses are, and that's what Defiance is going to do on Tuesday.
Well, and we talked about it too. With as many games that are on all the schools' dockets now, it's impossible to play everybody in your conference more than once. I mean, it would be great, but it's not the college level where you got a home and away. Even there, you're looking at probably a handful of teams as conferences continue to get larger and larger that you're still only going to play once. But a situation here where, I hate to use the phrase, but I do use it with some of the college coaches that I talk to, hiding in the cornfields of Northwest Ohio. It's easy for the larger urban areas, the Toledos, the Columbuses, the Daytons, certainly going farther south to Cincinnati, for the bigger schools and their players and their coaches to draw more of the spotlight. But, man, there is some very high-level, high-quality coaching and athletics going on here in the northwest part of the state.
Yeah, every year, you go down to Columbus, or wherever the state finals are, and Northwest Ohio is, well represented. In multiple divisions, and that just goes to show you the dedication of the coaches, dedication of the players and the communities, and what they believe in, and all their hard work and effort. And there's good basketball here in Northwest Ohio, and you're right, we're kind of hidden, and we're kind of that gem here.
Well, we are awaiting Coach Bryn Lehman. My guess is that the post-game meeting in the locker room is a little bit longer than usual. Not sure if we're going to have Jake Panico or not. And usually when I talk with the coaches prior to tip-off, they always say the same thing. Look, a loss sits a little bit differently, as you would expect it to, so we don't ever hold that to a point where we wouldn't expect to see a coach come up. If they do, they do. Great. But at the same time, you've got coaches right now that hard to believe we're deeper into January than probably most people think. And with that said, all of a sudden February is going to be here, and we're going to start talking postseason, partner.
Yeah, we are. And, now is a critical time, of the year. You want to get your kids healthy, but, by now you should know what you're good at. You should know what you're maybe not so good at, spending more time on in practice, because teams are going to try to expose that. So it is a critical time of the year. And once again, this is where your non-conference games comes into play, where maybe you can really work on those things that, you're struggling with or not so good with, or are not up to the standards that, you've established. And that's where you got to take advantage, of that time of the year now.
Tonight being a great example for both of these two teams. Defense is there. Okay, defense is there. And again, the 48 points, probably 6 of those kind of salted away from the charity stripe in the probably closing minutes, maybe about 3.5 mark. So you're talking, again, if you're Fairview, you're holding Defiance around 40 points, lower 40s. Likewise, again, Defiance holding Fairview to just 30 points. For both these teams, defense has been there all season long. But in particular, let's start with Fairview. You've got to find somebody, another option besides Levi Panico.
Going back to the defensive comments, Brett, you look at that, and you're holding Defiance to 10 points per quarter.
Yeah.
I always look at, when I was coaching basketball, is you try to win each quarter. How well did you do each quarter? And, I look back on hey, guys, our effort's there. We're doing it. Defiance, 10 points per quarter, you can't ask for anything more. And, okay, guys, that's where we got to figure out how to build upon that. And then how can we turn that into a couple points or a couple baskets for us? That's what they got to really learn how to do. And, I always said for years that you build upon what you do good, and what you don't do well, you just go back to work. And that's what Fairview's got to do.
On the flip side for Defiance, again, rebounding after surrendering 60-plus points for the first time all season last night against Fairview at 30 points, but still – you've got to see consistency. You talked about it. You're going to have a target on your back. Last year to this year makes a huge difference if you're wearing a Bulldog uniform.
Yeah, and from here on out, the league is not solidified. Someone might be able to knock off Shawnee. And you're right. They're right there. Yeah, they're in second, but they're going to have a target on their back. And well, they should. I would much rather have that, than be, the hunter. So Defiance is doing the right things, and they just got to continue to do it. And, basketball is a long season. It really, really is. And you just got to keep grinding and keep getting better, and hopefully things will work out.
We're going to take one last time out, and I'm not sure if we are going to get a coach for our post game. So one last time out. When we come back, it'll either be a coach or we'll be signing off. Defiance 48, Fairview 30. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the Dog Pound, 48-30, Defiance knocks off Fairview to pick up their 11th win of the season. The Apaches fall to 6-8. The Bulldogs now are 11-2. On the horizon, again, as we talked about it, Fairview after 4 straight road games. That's 2 weeks on the road.
That's a lot.
They finally get to play at home next Tuesday. They will host Antwerp. On the flip side, the Bulldogs will make the short bus ride to Archbold also on Tuesday. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Big thank you going out to our crew doing more than yeoman's work. Big thank you going out to our underwriters helping sponsor our broadcast. Folks, if you enjoy our coverage, please don't just do us a favor. Do those local businesses a favor as well. Walk through their doors, patronize those businesses, spend a little money, and on the way out, let them know how much you appreciate them helping us bring you the coverage that we do here as far as Northwest Ohio high school athletics is concerned. Coach, appreciate you throwing on the headsets.
Great night. Yeah, it was
always
fun.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Yep.
For the coach, Chris Dales, I'm Brent Balbinot, thanking you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score tonight, Defiance 48, Fairview 30. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.